Welcome back to the second episode of the Chaos Cyber Bike. Today we're going to get into some more nitty-gritty stuff. Last episode we left off with getting the rough sketch out, getting things underway. Today we're going to actually get started with some of the basic stuff. We're not actually going to get working on the bike itself, but some of the things that are ancillary, the off-the-shelf parts, tires, rims, that sort of stuff. But more importantly, we're going to discuss how do you find dimensions for stuff, how do you build stuff accurately in CAD when you're doing something that's not from scratch. When you're doing stuff from scratch, you can make a lot of stuff up and go where it goes, but with things like tires and stuff, without actually getting perfect dimensions from the suppliers or whatever, and you just need to get something that's close enough but not as rough as the ones that I've got on that I've already done, then you need to learn how to get things either from the internet or how to do it in real life. Go to the actual object and take measurements. So I have my own motorcycle. I'm going to chuck it up on screen. This is my 250 two-stroke motard, and I've got some street race tires on there. So I went out to the bike and got a whole bunch of dimensions and stuff off the tires using squares and tape measures and veneer calipers and stuff like that, so that I can get more accurate representation of the tire in CAD, so that when I start making the bike it actually looks really good. The ones that I'm going to show you, I did a time lapse last night. I just thought, you know what, I'll just go online, and I went online though. You go through, you look for dimensions and stuff, and you're going to find like a lot of information, and sometimes it's information overload, and you have to get really down into the weeds to just, to work out what all of these different dimensions mean. Tire technology is a very complicated subject. There's a lot of stuff in behind it, especially for motorcycles and for race bikes. I used to race motorcycles back in New Zealand. Understanding tire technology is it's a steep learning curve. So without getting into too much of that detail, and just to get a rough representation of stuff, you just need to have the basic understanding of what a tire profile is, how does it work, and what measurements are important for an accurate representation. So the one I did last night, which you should be seeing on screen now, is not exactly very accurate. These are based off measurements of the previous motorcycle design that I had that I'm not happy with anymore. So I'm going to make a whole new set today, and we're going to go through that in the next time lapse. So we'll see you there. And there you go, we got the front and rear tyre all finished. There's no time lapse of the front tyre because all I basically did was copy the file for the rear tyre, go in that file, then change the name of it and adjust some of the parameters for the revolution sketch that gives the profile for the tyre. So they're essentially the same tyre, there are just some minor changes. For instance, the rear tyre has flat sides, sloping sides on either side. You can see that just along here, but on the front tyre it's a pure curve all the way around. And this is again to do with all of the complicated stuff that goes into motorcycle tyres for race tyres and the way that they perform differently and the different characteristics. They're even constructed differently inside where the steel and the layering of the rubber goes. It all depends on the use of the tyre. So for rear wheels, the compression ratios inside the rubber and where the steel and the layers and the laminates are placed are all determined for the rear wheel performance, whereas front wheels, they have to deal with a lot more lateral forces, a lot of side compressions, and so they're built differently, they're shaped differently. So yeah, those are two both done now, and we will finish off with a time-lapse of the rims themselves. I won't be doing the spokes or the center hubs or anything yet, just want to get the rim profile for the tires to sit on so that we can get them in an assembly. And I think that'll finish it off for today's video. Let me know what you think. I've been putting a lot more work and effort into the amount of work that I put into these videos and a lot of the editing and everything. My setup's better and everything, so hopefully that shows in the video quality. I won't be very active for the next week or fortnight. We're still in the process of moving house, and in the previous house we have a lot of renovation stuff to do. So for the next week I don't think I'm going to have time to do another video, but hopefully I can squeeze one in before the next weekend. So yeah, I'm in chaos, and enjoy this short little time lapse of the rim, and we'll see you guys next time.